Hey guys, what's up? We have 3 minutes before our ride starts. We're going to do a warm-up together, so no need to warm up now. Just grab what you need. If you're on a smart trainer, there is a structured workout, a structured Training Peaks workout that you can plug into your trainer and do. If you haven't already done that, chances are you don't have enough time to do it in 2.5 minutes. So hopefully you're already squared away with that. If not, you can always pause it, upload it, and start so that you're a little bit behind us. You're not quite live with us. So we have the structured workout that you can download. The link will be in the description. It's a live workout plan, so that means every Sunday a new one will be added. Even if it's not there right now, you can check it. Once you've downloaded it once, you should be good to go. You don't have to download it each week. Let's see, anything else important? If you're on a dumb trainer or a not smart trainer that's going to control it for you, if you have power, our most important power ranges today are going to be 125% FTP or 88% FTP, so work those out now. If you're just going based off of feel, don't worry about it. We're going to talk about how it should feel. But if you have power, we're looking for 125 and 88. We're going to do over-unders, but we're going to go way over and way under. We're also going to be watching a women's field of a cyclocross race. We're looking at the Zonhoven race. The men are actually going to start us off because the women's race wasn't long enough for the whole workout. So I'm starting with a little bit of the men's race, and then we patch right to the women's race. We're going to watch the whole women's race. I wanted to give them, I didn't want to cut up the women's race, so we're going to watch the whole thing. And then either next week or later, we'll watch the men's race. Anyway, we have about 1 minute before we start. Let's get what you need, relax, get ready for battle, starting in 1 minute. Let's take a look at our warm-up quickly. There we go. We got a 3-step little warm-up, then we go to our 3 little sprints, and if you look ahead, we have 6 sets today. So 50 seconds before the warm-up. See you guys in about 40 seconds. Everyone's feeling good. Guys are ready to rock. Not everyone has their phone with them while they're riding. So if you have any questions during the ride, pop it into the comments. I'll make sure to get back to you. If you're doing this as a recording, of course, pop it in the comments. I'll get back to you when I see it. Here we go. Here's our warm-up. We're going to start with 3 minutes easy. If you're going based off of power, I would say 55% FTP. If you're going based off of feel, make it feel easy, but with enough resistance, something is getting done. We don't want to be doing nothing. So nice and easy. You can see I kind of just patched us into the middle of the men's race. We're going to do the men's race. We'll do this footage either next week or sometime in the future. So I don't want to start at the beginning and give away the excitement of that race. We'll just kind of patch it into the middle. We have about 9 minutes of warm-up, followed by a couple sprints. So we'll just get about 9-10 minutes of this race. Keep it nice and easy. This is the Zonhoven. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Zonhoven. I say Zonhoven. Someone tell me how to pronounce that, because I'm sure that both of those were wrong. This is the Zonhoven course or race. You got pretty good lineups, pretty big lineups in the men's field and the women's field. And in unusual fashion, I typically use on-the-bike footage, so we're getting on-bike GoPro footage. We're actually seeing, the actual coverage. So it's not going to be one person's on the camera view. It's going to be the whole race, with commentary, which should be fun to watch. So I'm going to try and talk less, which is hard for me to do because I have such a big mouth. But we're going to listen to the commentary. We'll watch the race. I'll chime in for the intervals. Let's just keep warming up. Nice and easy. Your next level of effort is going to be tempo, or if you're using a power meter, about 70% FTP. give or take.
Section, big blocks that make up this road at the end of lap 3. So
1 minute, and then we'll start tempo.
Look like they're about to get some company. Easterbit and Pidcock are just 4 seconds down. Corny Van Kessel, he's just like Lars van der Haar, just tucking down. Time
if you want to see the lap timers, my head's in the way.
And then a little gap back to the group
there we go.
being led by Jens Adams with David van der Poel, then Toon van der Bosch and Yanni Vermeersch, and then Dan Suter wearing number 11 here for Paushausen Bingo. So this front group is about to swell in numbers to 5. Pidcock and Easterbit are almost onto the back. Pidcock is almost there now. He's into the slipstream. Beautiful shot there as they just
I love getting these replays.
Michael Dietrich from the USA going down.
Big Mike Dietrich over there in the sand of Belgium and taking a.
That's what I like about this pro footage, not being just the GoPro footage, is we get these slow-mo replays. We get to delve back in and see kind of what happened to the race when we weren't looking. So we're gonna do 3 minutes tempo. This should be maybe a little bit spicy, maybe it burns a little bit, but for the most part, we're breathing deeply, we're getting sweaty. That's what we're looking for. It feels like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10.
I hope so.
Typically, tempo will start off feeling a little iffy, and then after a minute or two, you drop in and you feel like you could do it for quite a while. That's what we're looking for.
Swake, though, attacking this climb as they go through that section.
As you see, though, Pidcock now and Corne Van Kessel kind of rounding out, just tacking on to this front group here of these 3 riders up front, which is Lawrence Swake, Toon Aerts, and Quinten Hermans. Now, I was going to say, Marty, as you hear these riders come into the call, they're going to have a lot of motivation to be able to go super fast through this with all of the fans cheering. If you can hear that section,
show of hands if you would have eaten shit on that descent.
Roaring as these riders come through. Belgian fans typically
you can just see that wet texture on that way down.
With such a tight, compact group, they do start to cheer a little bit. But you see here on the side, they're very tame. They're not yelling like in a typical American or different countries across. You'd see them hanging over the tape, but they wait. It's at the end of the race when there's the real battles going down that they'll start to clap and they'll really start to cheer. But they're watching. They're very much. I would say they're more laid back than some of the other international fans that we see sometimes out on the circuit.
Tom Pidcock just grabbing a little bit of air through that section, just on that descent for Trinity Racing. There's Stibar, the aerial shot here, just showing Stibar on that descent. Last count, he was just outside the top 20, the DeKernick quick step man. The lead just swapping backwards and forwards.
It's actually kind of cool to see some of these guys that we've come to love on the road, who have their roots in cyclocross, see them in that cyclocross element. Same thing with track racing, right? There are some, gosh. There are some track races that we love to watch on the track, and it's kind of cool seeing them in the pro peloton and vice versa. You know, Cavendish was one of them. Whether you like Cavendish or not, Cavendish was one of them. You know, Wiggins was in both the pro and the track peloton.
You know, all of this stuff trying to navigate
Viviani, you know, all those names.
One little thing, you have one small lapse in judgment or concentration, and then it's over the bars. And as you can tell here, a lot of people leaving with a mouthful of sand. It kind of, that stuff can just buck
a mouthful of sand,
and there's nowhere to go but down.
Ben Tullett, British junior, has taken a little bit of a tumble back to 3 leaders, just over 12.
All right, guys, so if you take a look, I have that counter running. We have 10 seconds left, and we're moving into spicy or threshold. If you're using a power meter, 95% threshold, 95 to 100, something in that range. If you're just going based off of feel, make it burn for 3 minutes. Make it burn. It's not all out, but it burns. Heart rate's climbing. A little bit harder than you want to go.
That's right, and as we see them come into this 180 section, a little bit of lap traffic there, but they're coming in and they're hitting it with ease. They go up onto that right-hander, a little bit of grass right there that they're able to hit, and now it's all about concentration.
Look at that line they're picking.
One line. They have to shoot over to the other side.
Yeah,
of the course,
right up on that edge.
Be able to get around a loose section that's too steep for their bike.
That is a skill that,
make the turn there and go,
you know, really good cyclocross riders have that I don't really have, is being, it comes from experience, being able to know exactly exactly what
now.
line to pick. Even when it
See the
looks
riders with the
sketchy,
skin
I would never
suits
have picked the
unzipped,
line
quite in stark
right up
contrast
on
to
that
last year. I was rewatching last year,
sandy
snow on the
dune
ground
cliff.
last year.
But I guess that's where the most traction is.
It
That's
is
where you're least
definitely,
likely to
when I
slip
was over there, it
out.
was also very
You know.
seasonable conditions. It rained just about every other day, but for that time, they had a beautiful sunny day just like this when we were over there with Ollie looking at the sand pit.
So guys, this should be
definitely
burning. This is
definitely a
spicy.
nice
This is
time as
threshold.
we see
If
the
you're not
team
there,
owner
let's
of
crank
the,
it up a little bit.
Powell Sazon Bingal Jurgen
Let
Metterpitten
me
there
pop
is,
up
taking a
the
look to see how
warm-up.
this rider learns
I have
to
these little
manage
illustrations
the
today. So you're on the third step of that orange section. We'll take a quick break, and then we're going to do 3 hard sprints. So this is where we're at in our warm-up right now.
Instead of oil to lube the chain for sandy courses, it's quite a different setup, isn't it?
I mean, I think a lot of the riders probably are able to use different things. I know that in the past we used very light, if any, chain lube on our chain. So we cleaned the chain, and then it was almost just metal on metal. You definitely don't want a wet lube on a course like this. If you can imagine like a tar and feather type scenario where you've got a very wet chain with a lot of oil on it going through the sand, it's going to make the gears super heavy. So that's not what the riders want. I think I don't know about running talc on them or running some type of powder. I have heard that before, but I've never actually seen it in practice. I think truthfully, a lot of compressed air just blowing out the chain, getting it super dry before the race, and then letting these riders kind of go to work with
Interesting.
it. Like I said, a lot of these
Dry
now,
chains.
metal on metal,
So we'll talk a little bit about
it's
chains.
not ideal or optimal, but this is
On the track, we use a lot of
level. These riders
waxed
are able
chains
to,
because it's a dry environment.
to kind of burn through this equipment and throw it out when
And
it's over. So
water
we're
tends to
seeing now
degrade the
young British rider,
wax.
Tom Pidcock,
Wax happens to be
taking
pretty
the front
fast.
of the race and drilling
In
into
a
these sections for 2
dry,
minutes, not
dusty
wanting to let him
environment,
take
though,
that
having
as
a
they go
wet
into this
lube
hairpin 180
will
coming
attract
up.
the
It's,
dust
tune air
to the wet lube. And it just, oh, here we go. Here's our women's
hit
race.
That subscribe button, hit that bell icon, give us a thumbs up as well on our live broadcast. We'd really appreciate it.
So you're
If you do
attracting
that,
dust,
leave a
wet
like
dust,
mark
or
on
dry
the
dust to a wet
start
lube,
line, those
and it just
cells
ends up becoming
alongside
like
her, and
sandpaper.
it
It gets
was
stuck into that wet
the,
lube.
rider
So typically
right next to
dry
her
lubes for dry environments, wet lubes for wet environments.
Celine Del Carmen Alvarado.
Commentators were saying in this particular
So
instance
far
where
in
it
this
can be
series,
wet, but it can
Sonica
also
Anna Kate, you
be
just see behind her,
dry
Yara
top
Kastelijn,
layer of dirt
European champion,
that's
Lara
going to
Vidal
collect
Scott.
that
You
dirt,
can see the
and
gap there as
so they
well.
just do
That's
metal
Inga
on
van der
metal. They're
Heijden.
just doing
Alexia
very light
Maria
lube, if any.
Zoufi here
Metal
for
chain,
777.
obviously
Had
metal chain,
like a
but
lot of
metal
riders
on metal, no
last
lube.
year. Few tumbles on those descents.
Kind of hurts my
Riders
heart a
on
little
the
bit because
lights are
I take so
red.
much
We
time to
are
wax
ready
my
go. There's
chains
Abby May
and
Parkinson,
save
you
that
can see
1
there as
watt.
well from Trinity Racing.
Metal on metal.
British
But here we go.
rider.
Women lining up for this race.
Concentration on the face of these riders.
We're going to
Again,
have
that
our
warning,
hole shot or
ready to
our
go.
start
Ava Lechner,
right around the time that we're going to do our
day
first
for
8-second
Ava
sprint.
Lechner. You can see
It's going to be an
Sharon Van
all-out
right,
sprint
just behind
seated. Your
Ava
first sprint is
Lechner.
seated.
Team 185, lights
Then we'll do a
are
standing
green.
one afterwards. Here we go.
are off and racing. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado
3,
straight
2,
down
1.
the
Here we
center.
go. Let's sprint.
Yara
8 seconds.
Kastelijn,
Seated. Sprint,
Sonica
sprint, 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 sprint.
Inga van der Heijden
Go for
has
it.
got the best start here at the moment. Into the green, it's Van der Heijden.
All right, take a 20 seconds rest.
Anna Kay on the inside.
Your next sprint is going to be
Bump to
standing
the
up,
side
but
there.
not all out.
Van
It's going to be a little bit restrained.
Number 15 there, Abby May Parkinson just going through your picture.
Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. A
Yeah,
little
she
bit
has.
restrained, standing up,
She's
sprint, sprint, sprint,
young.
sprint, sprint.
She's able to go really quick at the starts and take this lead. She's able to use it to her benefit too. She's put
And
herself
take a
in the
20
front
seconds
row
breath.
several times this year. We've seen her. She's raced a
Last sprint is going to be standing all out, 8 seconds. We're going to recover for about 3 minutes, and then we hit our workout.
And doing work on the lower slopes of this track as they make their way up to the infamous call.
All right, here we go. This is all out
can
standing.
see,
Don't break your
those
trainer.
cells
3, 2,
stuck
1.
there
Here we go.
as well.
Stand up. Sprint, sprint, sprint.
Anna Kay.
All out for 5,
Riders
4,
getting themselves
3,
up towards,
2,
the front here.
1.
Aniek van Alphen
All right.
as well.
3 minutes rest. When we come back, we are oh, I didn't even show you your sprints, as if you needed to see them. Here they are. When we come back, I'll give you a little preview. This is going to be our first set. We have 6 sets. Our first set is going to be 15 seconds
Yeah, I mean, Alvarado has
under,
has
15
had
seconds
shown that
over.
she's able
These
to
are not
kinda keep the
typical
pace high
over-unders.
and
These
keep
are
it high.
way
A
over,
lot
way
of the
under.
riders,
So
as they
instead
take
of
this
a
into
typical
down
over-under
hill
is
section now, you see Sonic
105 and
using that
95%
technique,
FTP.
really wide
We're going
stance, pushing the leg down
125
front
and
of her, looking
88.
up, just
So
kinda
we're
getting
going
that-
like
getting
VO2
that
max
form down,
and
now, Marty, they're gonna come into this
sweet
lower
spot.
section, and
We're
now they
really
have to
going
ride
over and
up
under.
this side, which has been
If you're doing
very,
this
very
based off of
challenging.
feel,
As I was there with,
sweet spot should be
when I was over
spicy.
there with
It's pretty
Oliver,
much
it
almost,
made it
it's
for
going to feel like
just
threshold when we're in the
some
middle
really
of this.
hard passes.
So
I probably
spicy
tried that-
and
tried
then
that section 20 times,
almost all out.
unable to, so
and then
yeah,
spicy
it's a,
and then
it's
all
a
out.
heck of a
That's
course
what it's
here.
going to be
It's a
like.
lot of on, a lot of off
If you have a
and
smart
it's
trainer,
undulating,
good.
but
Use
yeah,
it.
getting back
Let
to
it just
Alvarado,
run for you.
very
If
important
you have a
they did
power
stop
meter,
taking early
we're
lead
doing
and see Sonic on
88%
today.
and
Not interested in
125%.
any
Figure out those
gifts.
wattages now, so you don't have to think about them later.
Potential opponents.
All right, guys. We have about 90 seconds. I'll shut up for a little bit, and we're going to take a look for our workout. Keep an eye out for it.
Got a good start as well. Constant, you can see changes here in the sand onto the grass, back onto the sand again. Maestrock has got a phenomenal start there. As Suzanne Maestrock from Proximus Alpha Motorhomes, the Dutch rider, on the run up. Sharon van Anrooy, you can just see just behind Anna-Marie Worst on this run-up. Anna Kay, good podium for Anna Kay yesterday. Ellen
Man,
Van
these
Looy
ladies are
just
on
grabbing
fire.
onto the barrier at the side. Ellen Van Looy had a great start yesterday.
You know,
Was up
looking
there
from
with,
the top,
with
it doesn't look
Marianne
like that
Voss.
steep of a run-up.
Just
Looking
faded
from
as
the
race went
bottom,
on, but already bit of a
man,
gap opening from the back
that was the
of
worst
Anna
part
Kay.
from my very
Back
limited
to,
cyclocross
Annick
experience
Van Alphen, then
was
Eva
getting off to
Lechner,
go up the stairs
Laura
or up a
Castellan
run-up.
and Alicia Maria Arzufi. Both of those riders not great
I just
starts
wanted
here
to
at the
stay on
moment.
the bike.
No, not great, but
I don't really want to get off and run. It's not my favorite part of the bike.
This isn't one where you get to fake it, unfortunately. This isn't like a, well, I could use a little bit of my experience and my finesse to be able to kind of come through and use that. It's
The thing I
it's
do
just
like about
way too
cyclocross, though,
heavy and hard
what
of a
really
course,
spoke
and
to me
you
doing
can see riders
cyclocross
hitting
in
that chicane. There's a
the
big rut there.
East
We have
Coast
a problem
is
that's
it's
a
very
big
much
Vander High in
like
the
as a
back part of the
kid
corner.
not having
But,
a suspension
Celine
mountain bike,
Carmen Alvarado
but going
feeling
mountain
good
biking.
coming off that
So
chicane.
using my
She's down there
hardtail
with
bike,
Sonica
my
and a couple of the other
my
women,
GT or
doing
whatever
a
it
big
was,
training block,
or
with
even
some
taking
warm
my
weather, and it
road
looks
bike
to be
onto
that they're,
paths that were
has
really
settled
like
into the legs quite
gravel
nicely.
courses
It
now.
has indeed, and already
That's
a
what cyclocross
strong
feels like to me.
trio of
Get ready, guys. We're
riders.
going to do
Starting to
15
get a bit of a
seconds
gap as they
on,
go
15
past
seconds
the
off. We're going to
pits.
start off.
Anna-Marie
So we're going to
Voss
start
back
sweet
to
spot.
Inga van
3,
der Heijden
2,
in the
1.
orange. It's already
Here we
a
go.
bit of a gap
Sweet spot for
opening there
15
top
seconds.
choice. Malcolm
88%
former winner of this
spicy.
race in 2017.
Should feel like an 8 out of 10.
Van Anrooy in 21st. That's the Corridor Circus rider leading overall in the general classification ahead of
All right, guys, we're going to bump it up to VO2. Let's go. 15 seconds. This should be hard. Legs are burning. This should feel like a 9.5 out of 10. It's a controlled seated sprint right now.
Was your top 4 in that one, leading out here, so it's Alvarado, Camp,
And we bring it
Van der
down.
Heijden, Van
Back to
Anrooy,
spicy, back
Bakker,
to sweet
Van
spot.
Looy, Anna Kay, and Annick Van Alphen.
You might be
That is your
relieved
order
for a second or
through
two,
this, sand
but then that spice
section.
kicks back in.
Just have a little glance back just to see Anna Kay just trying
All right,
to get
guys, we're going to
onto
go right
the
back up. Here we go.
Van Looy
Heart,
with Van
VO2.
Alphen right behind her.
125% FTP. Push, push, push.
The Polish champion, Marian Norbert Riberola, a minute back there in 37th. This is an essential skill, isn't it, Jeremy? These sort of courses, if you
And
want
bring
to
it
be a
back
top
down.
rider, you've got to
We're
be
back
able
to sweet spot.
learn to ride in the sand of Coxside.
Make sure you're not giving yourself excuses or going too easy on yourself. This should be a really hard 4 minutes. We're doing 4 minutes, so 8 efforts.
Big 180 hairpin turn here, and that
Bring it up, VO2.
Notoriously has a very deep rut. The riders go up on the right-hand side there. You can see that there's some grass over there. The organizers let them use some grass. You can see some riders saying, you know what, I'm just going for it. I'm going to get off and run. But the sand must be riding pretty well today as the riders have established a decent line.
And bring it back down to sweet spot.
This is one of those ones that is very, very difficult.
Bringing it
That
down
line
doesn't
is
mean
so
resting.
narrow.
It's
As
just
you
a
can see
little
on the
bit
course
less.
there,
They are
having a
both
tough time
work.
being able to get through
At
there,
no
but the
point
guys
should
on
we
off
really
back
be
are trying to come
feeling
through,
good.
using that power to be able to come through. Some riders just getting off and running it, knowing,
Oh,
hey,
bring it up.
haven't
I
been
missed
able
it.
to
Sorry,
ride
guys.
it
Go,
all
go,
in
go.
free ride. So how am I going to ride it in my race when I don't have any blood in my arms?
Annick Van Alphen's riding it well, so is Alicia Maria Arzufi, Laura Castellan, the European champion.
And bring it down to sweet spot. We're on effort. We're on set number 5 out of 8, so you're halfway through.
We said 2012.
If you're not nervous about finishing this set, it's a little bit too easy.
As Jeremy and I both said, we can kind of feel that Sanakan is just starting.
And bring it up. VO2. Let's go. 125%.
The world under 23 champion for CCC Live, just trying to close this gap back up now. So if you want a little shout out, say hi over on our chat forums on YouTube and on...
Bring it down to sweet spot.
Questions for Jeremy, if they're race specific, I'll throw them in during the broadcast. If they're kind of generally questions, we'll try and take them at the end of the race today. So thanks to all of you.
Get ready for VO2 number 6 and bring it up. VO2 number 6, you can keep an eye on what set we're on because it's labeled in orange right next to that counter. So we're on VO2 number 6. This is our start-finish line. First lap is done. We're looking at about 7-minute laps. Bring it down to sweet spot. Number 7 out of 8.
Going through the line, 7 minutes and 19 seconds is your lap time, and then 6 seconds back up.
And bring it back up. VO2 max for number 7 out of 8.
Between them, Azufi, K, Van Alphen, then Castelline just steadily closing this gap back up in 11th place, and then Lowe's Sells. That was a great chase there from Inga van der
Bring it down to sweet spot.
Back into contention in
This is your last sweet spot, followed by your last VO2.
I mean, you can see that she's got the legs. She may have also had a nice training camp because a lot of the riders, it depends on their style. You know, sometimes riders go away to training camp and it takes a
Get
bit
ready.
for it to
and boom, your last one.
You know? And,
hard.
Riders,
9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10.
They get a charge from it. They feel like
for another 7, 6, 5.
Along with some of the other team managers giving insight, telling where the
and
gaps are and things like that. But
you get 4 minutes of rest. Recover. You should need all those 4 minutes of rest. When we come back, same 4 minutes. We're just going to do half the amount of intervals. So instead of 15 seconds up and down, we're going to do 30 seconds up and down. So set number 2 will be 30 seconds. Same 4 minutes, but 30 seconds up and down. All right.
10 to 14 days.
4 minutes and we'll be back.
Just about every single day, excluding Christmas.
Shirin Van Anrooy, number 34, the junior rider, just trying to close down this gap. She's dragging that group of Manambaka, Van Looy, and Arzufi, but Sanakant here again, masterclass from the world champion on that descent. Look at the line just carving through there from Sanakant. Good to see Anna-Marie Horst going so well here on the sand. That was one thing that she said when you went out and spent the day with her, that she felt that was her weakness, was riding in the sand, and that was one area that she really wanted to improve on this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she had said that she was working with her coach, and I think she was feeling like there was an opportunity to improve on something that she didn't feel was on the same level as some of her other skills. Been able to get in there, I'm sure, having taken a good hard look at that in the preseason and learning some new skills. And a lot of it comes down to tire pressure. You know, a lot of it comes down to experience and position on the bike and a mindset. You have to get into these races, and riding in the mud or riding in the sand.
The timer's going to kick back in with about 2 minutes to go, so you'll know when you have about 2 minutes to the next set.
Thinking about the line and shifting your body weight. It's like taking a quiz and knowing how. Ooh, here we go. We got Yara Castelline coming in a little off center. You can see she's got quite a bit of speed here. Not looking happy with that. Uh-oh. Not making that line perfect. Kind of outside all of those choices there, Marty.
That was one of those sort of moments there, wasn't it? You could almost see it on her face. That you could see that she felt she was starting to just go a little bit squirrely to the left there, and you could always. Yara doesn't seem to hide much of what she's thinking.
All right, guys, 90 seconds and we'll be back.
Definitely a whoops moment there.
Yeah, I think if you're on your brakes when you're going down the infamous drop there, it's going to be it's not good. You don't want to be on the brakes going down there. Momentum.
Annick Van Alphen remounts at the top.
4 minutes sometimes feels like a long rest, especially when you're not doing it. You're like, wow, this is stretching on forever. But when you're in the middle of it, and especially when you're on sets number 4 or 5,
I think that the definitely running probably,
that 4 minute rest
just under 2 bar would be my sense.
Is not enough, right? It starts off being fine, but it'd be great if that 4 minute rest was 5 or 6 or 7.
Looks like potentially Sanakant coming off that front group for a second. There may be a mistake. But yeah, I would say somewhere in that range, just because you want the soft tires to be able to move underneath you with the sand. As the sand moves, you have to have a soft enough tire for it to also move. Whereas if your tires are too hard, then it's just going to be breaking through and kind of going down to the bottom and not giving you a big contact patch and not absorbing anything. So you want to ride them soft with the tubular tires. You're able to run them so low that if you hit anything, you're not going to flat. So these riders have a ton of experience riding them. You have to ride the tire different when it's such a low pressure.
Interesting question for anyone that might be an expert. Something that we've been playing around with is for mountain bike tires doing inserts. Those inserts that will allow you to, like the foam inserts that allow you to reduce the pressure in the tire because it's actually reducing the available air pocket. Let's get ready for these 30 seconds starting at sweet spot. I'm wondering if cyclocross riders use inserts. We'll see. I think most do. Let's go sweet spot, 30 seconds. Should burn, should feel like 7.5, 8 out of 10. Aim for like an 8 out of 10.
So many of you out there, Pereira in
Portugal, I know a lot of traditionally a lot of cyclocross riders will use tubulars because you can really lower the pressure without risking burping that tire.
People asking lap times.
All right, guys, get ready. VO2. This is 30 seconds long.
Really
Up.
heavy out there. Do fewer laps.
All right, you're going to be here for twice as long as before.
Yeah, exactly.
30 seconds. So chances are 15 seconds wasn't terrible. But once you hit that 15 seconds to go mark, it's going to really start to set in. This should be challenging. You're fighting to stay up here in that 125% effort. 125% FTP. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down to sweet spot. Make sure sweet spot's not too low. We're looking for 88% FTP. It should feel like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, you memorize a certain bit of the track. When it gets over 10 plus minutes, it's a bit of a different score when the lap goes that long. So cyclocross is supposed to be a lot of rounds, competed in 40 to 50 minutes for the women and just about 60 minutes for the men. And that's good because the spectators and the fans, they come to enjoy seeing the riders go by.
Get ready to go right back up. VO2, here we go.
Just to give you some weather for the riders today, the weather 52 degrees Fahrenheit, dropping to about 49 a bit later on. That's 11 degrees Celsius, dropping to about 9 a little bit later. 31 kilometer an hour winds. So
guys, this should be hard. This is VO2. This is 125% FTP. This is like 9.5 out of 10 effort. 9.5. And bring it back down to sweet spot.
Kicking out of that turn, Alicia Maria Zuffi just comes out of that corner, the Italian. Good ride today. Manon Bacca looking good. Castelline has got onto the back of that group.
Keep that 88% FTP going right on the money.
Right now, big shout out to you, Robert Rowell.
Try to make sure that this does not become a recovery. It's not hard recovery. It's hard, less hard. Get ready to go right back up VO2. Here we go. VO2 number 3 out of 4. We're doing 4 of these.
Inga van der Heijden and Sanakant. 4 laps to go this time, so 4 to go. Bakker and Van Anrooy feeling here. I feel that Bakker and Van Anrooy with our Zuffi can get back in here.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. There's no question about it. These riders are.
Let's go. Finish strong. 125% FTP all the way.
Track, and I think that, they don't probably.
And bring it down to sweet spot for the last time. We're doing sweet spot VO2 one more time. 88%. This should feel like an 8 out of 10. Heart rate's going, even though it feels a little bit better on your legs. You're still sweating. You're still suffering a little bit.
And meaning being new to it. And just kind of going out there and flapping their wings. Again, we're seeing Bart Wellens yelling to their riders to be able to take a different line or to think about something that he's seeing out there as he kind of surveys the lay of the land today.
All right, guys, for the last time, here we go. Bump it up. This is number 4 out of 4, 30 seconds. Plow through.
777s. Anne-Marie Wurst is there, and then Sanakant just moves up as our Zuffi and Castelline almost making contact. Van Anrooy and Bakker are almost there as well. These gaps, we just got to kick on here. Can Van Anrooy get back in here? Man on backer for Experza. Looking for a
5,
good day today
4,
for the
3,
Experza team.
2,
Podium
1.
yesterday, looking along the bottom
That's it. You
stretch.
guys get
Now
4
captains
minutes
to
of
the
rest.
top 20.
If you were
Low sales
wondering,
back
it's a 4-minute
18.
effort followed by a 4-minute rest, so we're getting 100% rest. Our next set,
Just kicks out
oh,
to the
that's
left
too far.
there.
Our next set is actually going to be
The line goes
45
down.
seconds.
So again, just losing that.
Our next set's going to be 45 seconds
Yeah,
each.
not good, not good.
3 times, which actually makes it 4.5 minutes long, so it's a little bit longer than the other ones. But we're going to go 3 sets, or 3 down and ups, 45 seconds each. That's our next set.
You look at Sonic Conklin down in this with many, many years of experience versus another rider that's right next to her, someone like Inga van der Heijden. You can see that the style is completely different, where Sonic Khan's able to get wide, get low, push her bike away from her. She's able to almost take a lot of time back. Someone like Inga van der Heijden, of course, going down it safely and fine, just not having that same level of experience and technical prowess as the world champ.
Laura Verdonschot just comes past there. Yara Castelline just goes down. And again, this is the thing when you go down in the sand on a particular part of the course, you go gear side down, not having a good day today. But this is all the, as you said, this is the experience, isn't it? You've got to learn to be able to take the lines here. It's fine doing it on your course practices, but it's race conditions when you're chasing to get back on. You're feeling the pressure. You've got
slogging up that run up
jersey on your shoulders, and there's that level of expectation that you're feeling you're putting on yourself as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there's so many things at play here, and like I said, Marty, this is not a course where anyone hides. The strongest rider on this track wins without a question. It's such a test of all of the parts of cyclocross that make it what it is. I mean, this run here, as these riders come into close to the halfway mark, 18 to 20 minutes in, this is one of the most challenging sections. You can see riders are barely running this because it is such an effort. You go down this, that drop on the opposite side.
My body hurts watching that run up.
Down that section, and within another 10 seconds, you're starting to do another 30-plus second run.
All right, guys, we're looking at about 90 seconds to go, and we're going to do our next set, 45 seconds down and up, 3 times.
Speed and momentum changes out there. There's all of these things to think about. This is like if you're taking your hardest final exam. This is absolutely like that.
Going through now this leading group, so 777, can they get some reinforcements now at the front of this group? The chase here from the Team 185 rider. A few of you asking over on the forums, how old is Shirin Van Anrooy? She is 17, is Shirin Van Anrooy, the rider in the white and green jersey with my favorite sponsor, Sesamel, on her shoulders. She has had a great season. The Van Anrooy sisters, her older sister is 23. So far this season, so first in the European Junior Time Trial Championships, first in the National Championships in the time trial, silver at the Worlds in the time trial as well. So lots of talented young juniors coming through the ranks. There she is, just chasing down Alicia Maria Arzufi in front of her. Sana Kant has faded. I've given her the GCN curse today again, haven't I? After saying that I was expecting her to go well here.
Hey, well, the thing is, like I said, I think that she is riding against riders that are 10 years younger than her in a lot of these scenarios, and she's got the world champ bands on. There's nothing to say that that she's not just kind of taking a moment. I think that she definitely, when I saw her running up that climb, she did not look happy. She did not look like she was going to come back.
Here we go, guys.
Have a second go at this. It looks like kind of the top
3,
is off, and she's going to need
2,
to recover from that
1, 45 seconds of sweet spot, make it feel like an 8 out of 10.
Out and like asks her, hey, can you put in a first hard lap? Kind of takes the bait, and then she's out there racing a little bit higher than she needs to. I think that there's going to be her team.
I've done that, where you start off a pace trying to string out the field, trying to maybe weed out some of the other players, but you write a check that your legs just can't cash, and you now all of a sudden can't keep up with the pace that you started. That's the danger of doing a hard first lap, is the danger that it might stay that hard.
Have so much success over these last few years.
All right, guys, get ready. We're going to go up to VO2, 125% FTP in 3, 2, 1, 45 seconds. Here we go.
go back here. And this is Caitlin Cook
man.
from Estonia going down heavy there.
Mouthful of sand. Damn. Ooh.
That's not
These ladies are so tough.
No, looks a little bit like Oliver, who had the sand in his mouth when we went over and saw the course.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
She had a good time though. Her back a little bit kind of going in the wrong direction there. So definitely, probably wanted to head home and hit the massage table and make sure that you're.
All right, guys, 125% FTP. Your leg should be screaming. If they're not screaming, your FTP is probably set too low, or you're not at 125%.
Telenet Super Prestige Series from the Epic Sand Dunes here of Zonovan, the Sand Pit.
And let's bring it back to sweet spot. Even though you're tired from going in that VO2 range, let's really try and not rest here. Try not to make it too easy. Ooh, chasing on, trying to bridge that gap.
I love her style, Sheeran Van Anrooy. She's got that gutsy riding style.
Yeah.
I think that's the 17-year-old trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah, it's a lot, but as you can see,
all right. 88% right now, guys. We're ready to go right back up to VO2 for the second time out of 3. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 45 seconds. Let's go.
There, girl. She's the current under 23 women's world champ, so she's not able to wear those bands because Sana Khan's in the race, and she's the under 23 world champion. She's not the elite world champion, but Alicia Arzoufi probably taking some pointers here from over the years. She's showing, hey, I'm here, and now I'm at the front. And so Anna Marie Works now plays the teammate role, but Celine doesn't want to let anybody go in between them to play any team tactics and give away any free time.
So much 777 in this race.
Classic 101 road racing tactic, but on the cyclocross course is
all right, guys, keep it up there. 125% FTP. Stay strong.
They've shown that they can do it this season, Marty.
They have. They do ride.
And let's bring it back down to sweet spot.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a great piece.
We're at sweet spot.
In terms of
30 more seconds, then we go right back up to VO2 max for one final effort.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, I think that one of the things that you don't see a lot in cyclocross is these teams that can kind of work together and have a common goal. You know, they work together to have that similarity and want the same outcome. As soon as they get to that point where they're on their own, they kind of take it upon themselves to
get ready for your last VO2 max effort.
Like head to head, right? There's no friendship once they're on the front, and that's kind of how cyclocross has been raced since the beginning.
We're coming out of 88% FTP. We're going back up to 125 for 45 seconds. Here we go.
Some opportunities, and then
push it.
Once that's done, once they attack is coming, once they've whittled down the opponent, then they fight the glory amongst themselves. So see the riders going down the second half of the infamous call here, coming in now for this long run up that I was talking about, Marty. You can imagine
20 seconds left. Let's go. Finish strong. Legs should be screaming, but we're going to push through anyway. Come on.
Lap 4 of 6, 24 minutes and counting. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado on the run up. Anna-Marie Puers just locked in behind her. Alicia Maria Arzoufi just finding the feet. And Inga van der Heijden and Sheeran Van Anrooy
just chipping away at that run up.
This big sandy run up here. Thanks, all of you for,
all right, guys. 4 minutes rest.
Mark Legg,
watch the race. Relax. Catch your breath. When we come back, we just did set number 3. We're going back to the beginning. 15-15 for 4 minutes. Then we do 30-30 for 4 minutes, and then we finish with 45-45 for 4.5 minutes. So this is what we have. Oop, that's a lie. This is what we have coming up next. Watch the race, catch your breath, get ready to repeat it all.
Yeah, you have to learn how to do it. On the sand would probably be the best place on the cross course to do it, although the grass is not as hard as a pavement road. Here we see the technique and determination that's on Sana Khan's face as she gets on one of those outside lines. Yeah, just pushing that out. Oh, but you can see that the fatigue is there in Sana Khan today. She's definitely feeling this one. As we get a picture of the man that we had on the show on Friday, Bart Wellens there. All smiles as he has 2 riders in the front group today.
Celine Alvarado attacking this group again, and it's Anna-Marie Puers from 777 that's trying to stay with her. So these two are through these sections. You saw Alicia Maria Arzoufi get onto the group, and the Corridon Circus rider Alvarado just bossed straight back, wasn't letting her get away with it. Now Zufi now is on the chase with Inga van der Heijden. So the group's just starting to stretch. Worst is locked in out right on the wheel now of Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Zufi just trying to find her way through. Zufi's again, we're seeing so far this season certain races not getting the best of starts and then having to use a huge amount of energy to get herself back up towards the front.
Yeah, Bar had said that, you know, technically she has some work to do, but that she's very gifted, you know, cardiovascularly speaking. So she's very, very strong, and you can see that today. She's not didn't have the best start, but is able to make it back to the front group, which means that she's turned faster lap times than the other riders that are at the front, probably, you know, having an open track, not, you know, playing to the race tactics that are out hand. But overall, she's been able to come, you know, been able to come back to the front group, and that is, I mean, against the best riders in the world, that's a win in itself, Marty.
It is indeed. So Worst on the front. Right, little message to Fonz over on our chat forum, who posts 50 million times every broadcast in the pronunciation of Annemarie Worst's name. At least he stopped shouting now. Fonz, we do our best. Jeremy and I both have regional accents as well. Worst, as Annemarie said in her video with Jeremy, as
we're looking at 1 minute and 20 seconds before we start again with 15-15s. That's a lie. 15-15s usually implies you're doing 15 of them. We're doing 8 15s, but we're going to do 15 up, 15 down.
And enjoy some fantastic cyclocross racing. So we do our best. And apologies if my pronunciation of Worst with my Scottish Hampshire accent is seriously offensive. I apologize. We have some fantastic cross. We have some great chat going on. Thanks all of you for all your input. Your leading group is back together. Annemarie Worst, Celine Del Carmen.
I'm going to mimic what the commentators say. I cannot pronounce anything, and that's why I'm not even calling out racers that I know, because I 100% know I'm going to pronounce their names wrong. Some of these European names are very hard for me, and that's no excuse, but I'd rather I'd rather not butcher it.
Who really announced her return to the cyclocross scene.
I'm bad enough with
we've missed her.
Easy names to pronounce. Here we go. We're doing 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off. Off does not mean off, it just means sweet spot, starting in 4, 3, 2, and here we go. 15 seconds, sweet spot.
Which brings them back to the start-finish area where all the big tents are, and all of a lot of the fans are sitting. If they're not in the
good, we have a pretty decisive top 4, couple chasers.
Backside of the course, because this is where a lot of the big tents are. The food vendors and such are all over here with the beer.
And bring it up to VO2. Let's go. 125% FTP, hard.
It's got a lot of flow.
This should be like a 9 out of 10.
Sloping down, as you can see, Sonicon not on the
bring it back down to sweet spot. It should be 88% FTP or an 8 out of 10. We've got another 777 coming up.
It is definitely a big part of this course, and it kind of lives there year round. When we were there, obviously there was nothing, but this concrete pad.
All right, let's bring it up to VO2. Let's go. Let's go hard, guys. 125% FTP.
Hang on. It's not out of sight.
9.5 out of 10 hard.
Not at all. And Yara Castelline is
back down to sweet spot.
Off the group here, so she is almost back on. Almost seems like Yara's just settling.
88% FTP sweet spot
now as the laps go on.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I think that you can see.
Bring it up to VO2, number 3 out of 8.
To her advantage, just kind of stringing it out. She's taking
9.5 out of 10 hard. 125% FTP. Let's go.
To kind of come and take a swipe at Alvarado. Alvarado's been showing that she's got great legs.
And bring it back down to sweet spot. 88% FTP.
How was she riding on the climbs when we were doing the intervals? How was she? Was she just a little bit in front with the wheel when we were doing that 4-hour ride, or did she have to eat a lot? Did she not look good? Was her mental,
and let's bring it up to VO2. This is number 4 out of 8. 125% FTP. Push it. Legs and heart rate should really be settling into a hard effort. And bring it back down to sweet spot. For these short efforts, they're short and hard. A couple efforts goes by and it doesn't feel terrible, but right around this halfway mark, it should be challenging.
over.
That's
and,
some deep sand they're
Alvarado,
navigating
yeah,
on that
he
descent.
run down the
Here we
hill.
go. Up to
So
VO2.
definitely a lot of
Let's
different
go.
styles in that, Marty.
She has
Push,
had
push,
it
push, push,
smashed,
push.
hasn't she, from
Come on.
the start, that line, Alvarado. She's been nailing it every single time on that descent. Yara Castelline, the European champion, is only almost back on.
And
Really
bring
gets
it
the
right
power
back.
through that section, stays on the bike a little bit longer than the other
All right, we're
riders
at sweet
of this,
spot,
top
88%
section
FTP.
here.
This is number
Alvarado's
6
leading
out
out.
of 8
This
total.
for Van der Heijden and Alvarado. If Castelline gets back on here, that makes it
3 efforts each coming up.
777
Here we go.
riders at the
Up to
front.
VO2, number 6.
Yeah, for sure.
9.5 out of 10 hard.
The whole team's up in the front almost.
Keep that cadence
Castelline,
faster rather than slower.
to be able to come back from that crash earlier in the sand and yeah, kind of put it all together to be able to bring this thing back is an impressive
And
effort
bring
on
it back
today.
to
Definitely
sweet spot number
not a problem with
7.
the legs. I
Your
think
second to last sweet
technically where you
spot.
see the issue with this section here, as you see now, Alice, probably Arzufi with a little bit of a crisscross here on the line choice. You see
And let's
getting
bring it
away
up
from
to
her,
VO2
cutting
number
over that
7.
far right side to be able to get past her to kind of keep a little bit more speed. You can see that Arzufi was on the brakes a little bit.
125%
That's just the speed that she's
FTP. Let's go,
comfortable
go, go,
with.
go, go.
Yeah.
I think that's not her strength on the course. She's looking at that and saying, like, I need to get
And
section.
bring it down to
This is my
sweet spot
strength.
number
As
8.
you
This is
come
your
to the
last sweet
lap
spot.
there, Marty, that is going to be one of the sections where someone like Alvarado and Anna Marie, where they've had a lot of success on it, are going to have to try to open up some gaps.
On that long run up, you can see riders descending one side, Sana.
And let's go. Last time, 125% FTP. 9.5 out of 10 hard. At this point, it might feel like 10 out of 10 hard.
The young rider, Dutch rider.
Finish strong in 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 minutes rest. Let's take a look at this race, catch your breath, and get ready
Yeah, I think it's
for set number 5.
The promoters
You can
were
just
easily
visually
looking at
see
a
where
track
we're at
like
now,
this.
what
I'm
we've
sure they
done.
have a
Set
lot
number
of concerns, a lot of
5,
different things
30,
to cover them, but,
down
the
30,
riders
up
grabbing onto those
4
ropes to be
times.
able to keep a little bit of,
It'll take 4 minutes.
A little bit of their balance as they careen up that. You guys probably can't fathom the
Our
steepness and the
next set is actually going to take us to the end of the race, I believe. And then your last set will be going on during some of the recap stuff. I think the end of the race will either be on our next set or maybe on the rest in between. We're pretty close to the end of this race now.
To be able to navigate this course and then to be able to kind of go through that section.
Pretty decisive top 4 or 5. If anyone bridged that gap. Oh, it's actually splitting up a little bit. Yeah, wow.
Close-ups when they really zoom in on the rider's face, when they're kind of doing that phew kind of moments, there must be a real big spike of adrenaline as well.
I'm, for the most part, watching this footage for the first time with you guys. I've seen this, but this is 2019, so I don't really remember how this all shakes out.
You're careening towards whatever, object is under there that you haven't seen before, so you kind of shift your weight, and then as soon as you lose something, just naturally your body tenses.
While we're resting, guys, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, like the video. It really helps the video get more watches, which means we get more live watchers. We get plenty of people that do these workouts afterwards, but it's always fun to know that there's someone in real time suffering with you. So like and subscribe just so that these videos get some good airtime.
Let it flow on the sand.
You'll notice on the channel I have the first Aero AF video that's up there. It's a series we're going to do on different aero positions with a real-time aero data sensor. So if you haven't looked at that, take a look at that. Maybe in the comments write something that you want to see analyzed. Maybe you want to see drafting behind a car in a race versus by yourself in a race. We're going to test a bunch of different things. It's going to be an ongoing series. So if you see anything, if you see it and you want to see anything, pop it in the comments, let me know. All right, guys, 90 seconds left, and we're going to get going.
Now you're seeing a bit of lap traffic, which is making it a little bit difficult, but as a front rider, that is somewhat expected.
We're on lap 5 out of 6.
We haven't been calling coming into the shot, and you know that that's a lap rider. Here we see Sanakan using that experience and skill to be able to come up this very narrow side of
our world champ is just hammering some squares through that section.
Swiss rider from VC Milan that's just on the back of this leading group. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado having a little glance back. She'll get pulled by the officials. So we're on lap 5.
All right, this is the front of the race. We're going to start our penultimate set right here in about 50 seconds.
To their right, they'll see Alicia Maria Arzufi and Inga van der Heijden with Yara Castelline almost back on. This is going to be an exciting finish. These two riders, we've seen them doing battle throughout this season so far. Arzufi, can she get back on? Castelline comes past.
What do we think? Are we going to finish in the order that we're in now, or are these two leading riders going to lead us into the finish line? Are they going to regroup? What do you guys think? Make a decision now and we'll see what happens in the next set. 7 minutes for a lap. This set's going to take about 4 minutes, so it'll probably happen during our recovery afterwards. All right, here we go. 30-second sweet spot in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Sweet spot 30 seconds.
You got to put together is these sections as you think about it, going down the big sand drop into that next section. Just the ask to be able to
88% FTP should feel like an 8 out of 10.
Then to be able to take it back in the last lap when these riders in the front, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado and Anna Marie Horst, are all going as hard as they can. To be able to close that down would be a Herculean effort. And I think that right now, these two riders is potentially where the win's going to come from. Although,
and let's bring it up to VO2. Let's go 125% FTP.
Today, so,
really hammer into this. Now that we're 10-15 seconds in, it should start dropping in as pretty hard, and you have to fight to stay up there. 9.5 out of 10 effort.
Could it come down to a sprint between these two? Could it come down to that long, sandy, steep drop?
Is someone going to mess up on that? Yeah, that sandy descent, or are they going to sprint for the finish? We'll see. Here we go. Bring it back down to sweet spot.
I would say so, Marty, and I think that
if someone messes up on that sandy section or a technical feature, some of these chasers that are right behind could very easily overtake. Ooh, they're both through clear. Sweet spot, guys. We have 10 more seconds.
Now they're going to come up to this next sand section. Boom, you see these beautiful aerial overhead shots. So what Anna Marie's
get ready to go right back up to VO2. VO2, here we go. 30 seconds, 125% FTP.
And that is definitely showing a lot of time in the game, being able to kind of take Celine Del Carmen Alvarado and
keep going, push through, keep it smooth, keep the cadence high. 125% FTP, second sand descent, and made it through. Is this gap going to close back up, or are they going to stay separate? Let's see. And bring it down to sweet spot. There we go, closing in on each other on that run up.
In the World Championships, I wouldn't bet against it, actually, would you?
No.
20 more seconds here, guys. It should feel like an 8 out of 10.
And Anna Marie Worst, the way that she had set her season up, her goal for the year was to win a World Cup. She's done that already twice. She's definitely looking to add today's result to her.
Get ready.
It's cool to see her taking the front.
VO2, number 3. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Pick it up, 125% FTP.
But Anna Marie really sent it there, and that's something that you have to calculate.
Fight for it.
Taking that risk, knowing that there's a possibility that you may crash, putting it all out there, and then you achieve something really beautiful from that, because that's what you have to do as a top-level cyclocrosser when you're riding against someone that's at the exact.
This should be hard. 9.5% FTP. Fight through.
Like I said, Marty, they know everything about each other. So being
5,
able to kind of trick
4,
them to think that,
3, 2, 1. Bring it down to sweet spot for the last time. We're going to go sweet spot VO2 one last time.
But then she's like, whoa, Anna Marie smashed it through there. Now she's got to kind of.
Let's go.
Reconfigure her plan of attack, but now you can see they're both in the front of the saddle. They're going as hard as they can, and they're absolutely pushing the pace now as much.
All right, they're basically right on each other here. No significant gap.
On the front.
Get ready for VO2 for the last time. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Pick it up. 125% FTP. We're coming into the end of this race. This is your last effort of this set.
just one last ditch effort here.
10,
As,
9,
Zufi
8. Make sure this feels like a 9.5 out of 10.
one of the 777 riders
5,
will, make it
4,
onto the podium.
3,
The first
2,
two look
1.
like they're gonna
Here we
come
go.
from this leading
It seems
duo
like we're going to
here.
have,
Alvarado
you know,
first.
riders
It's
number
the
1 and 2
European
coming in
champion
here.
right behind.
The question is what order?
They're just picking up
Absolutely.
some back markers again.
Absolutely. I was just looking
4
at,
minutes recovery. Let's see who takes
result from here last year.
first and who takes second.
This is definitely a much better performance for her than last year's race here, as we see Alice Arzufi and Yara Castelline trying to take up third and fourth spot. That's going to be a good battle fight to the end, but definitely looking like they're going to have 2 777 riders on the podium today.
They are indeed. These two chasers behind. Looking good now. Yara Castelline's going to put in a bit of a dig here to go past her teammate. That's Barbara Borowiecka, the Polish national champion there in the white. She's a lapped rider. So then they just, they're caught together. So they've come in, just run into the back of each other. Just a fractions of a second lost there. Might that allow Yara Castelline and Arzufi to come back? Quite a lot of traffic. You don't see this very often.
Wow, man, they're actually getting
very often, but on a track like this,
lapped right near the finish line, which makes it really hard for these two ladies to have a good, clear finish.
Oh my gosh, I'm in the front of the race now. So they're trying to get out of the way. They're just doing their race. It's not their fault. But you can see you don't want to see it impact.
Yeah, those lapped riders getting in the way here.
Very professional move there. Anna Marie getting
all right.
caught up with Celine Del Carmen.
A little bit of a gap opening up here. What is that, like
180? You never want to see that dictate the race. You see Alvarado there putting down
100 meters?
Saying,
No,
hey,
no.
I've got an
Less than that
here.
now.
But Anna Marie coming back. It looks, Marty, like it could be a sprint finish. I have to say that section of the 180 was very reminiscent of a Mathieu van der Poel and Wout van Aert tangle up where the skewer gets stuck in the rear tire, and we saw that at the Worlds in Zolder a couple years back.
Quickly before we get to this finish, that's our last set. 3 sets of 45 seconds down, 45 seconds up. We're going to do that in 2 minutes. This race will be over before then. Let's take a look and see who's going to win.
On this one, kicking it out of that corner is Yara Castelline. Has a glance back to see where her teammate is. Alice Maria Arzufi looks like she got caught up a little bit in that traffic as well. Alvarado
does not look like they're going to get caught. We're coming into the finish line.
They line up for the sprint. Anna Marie first goes down the left. Alvarado.
Whoa!
It's be close. It's
all right.
Anna Marie first comes through to take it.
Just a little bit more in the legs at the end.
It's a victory. Second place
Man.
for Celine Del Carmen. Alvarado. There's Arzufi just coming out.
That was
of
an exciting
corner.
race.
It's going to be first and third for 777. Yara Castelline crossing the line.
Very cool. All right, guys. That was an exciting way to finish our rest off. You have 1 minute, and then we go into our last hard set. Hopefully not too anticlimactic because we've already finished the race, and you guys have a little bit more racing to go.
Hang up, then Alvarado getting a bit of a gap, even though she was probably thinking like, wait, hang on, something happen? What, trying to make this forward, going as hard as she could, and then take.
How far behind is our world champ? Kant is about, what, a minute behind? Ish.
Sana Kant comes in there for
55 seconds, yeah, about a minute.
The winner, as we said, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 18. Here comes Sharon Van Anrooy, the team 185 rider, the junior. Is just a glance back here.
All right, guys, here we go. Get excited. 45 seconds, sweet spot, 45 seconds.
Top 10
VO2, starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Sweet spot, 45 seconds.
And congratulations all around. And you can just see the Arzufi.
This should feel like an 8 out of 10.
Race apart afterwards, straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see
8 out of 10 effort. Keep it nice and smooth. 88% FTP.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I think it's totally different. Back in the day, so different when I was over there in the early 2000s. I would never have seen a Orwell race or Eric hugging out that race. So here we go, a replay of the finish. You see it was Celine Del Carmen Alvarado leading it out punching on the pedal. It was Marie Worst able to
And we should be at VO2 max. Let's bring it up. Let's go, go, go. We're looking at 45 seconds here. 125% FTP.
Man,
Let's go.
What a beautiful finish to an excellent day of racing.
That was absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. Yara Castelline really had to fight today, didn't she? Look at that, just blowing out her cheeks there. Here comes Anna Kay. It's going to be 13th for Anna Kay from Experza. And then next.
Good. 125% FTP all the way. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can bring it back down to sweet spot. We do that 2 more times.
Yara Castelline, Alicia Maria, Zufi Inga van der Heijnen, Sanne Kant, Shirin van Anrooy, Manon Bakker, Laura Verdonschot, Ellen van Looy is a 10th. That's your top 10 cross.
Remember the good old days when we could congregate like this? The pre-COVID era. Maybe one day we'll be back to, you know, race spectatorship like this.
So
racing in general.
Top 10. Just outside there, Eva Hirtehuka, 11th. Eva Lechner, then Anna Kay, and Annick Van Alphen. That's,
all right, guys, get ready.
Just, comes in
VO2 max, number 2 out of 3. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pick it up.
From Pals,
45 seconds here. 125% FTP. It should feel like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. After 10-15 seconds here, it should start to really settle in. The beginning of these efforts really doesn't hurt until it starts to sink in. It's being up above this threshold effort for a significant amount of time.
Great slow-mos here.
After 10 seconds, we get increasingly lactic. Oh, look at that saddle going all the way. Wow.
Yeah, man, they were going.
Keep it up here, keep it up here. And let's bring it back to sweet spot for the 3rd and final time. Below 10 seconds is alactic or no lactic energy source. Above 10 seconds is where we become lactic. And lactic acid is not a bad thing. It's actually your energy source. What's bad is the acidity in the blood and the muscles, and that's what burns. So
super technical track here in Zonhoven.
I don't know why I said that. Why did I say that? Oh, that's why. Give it 10-15 seconds before it starts really hurting when you jump up there.
With her, an interview with her. I know we're trying, aren't we, to try and get something up. Because
all right, this is sweet spot number 3. We should be 88% FTP, 8 out of 10 effort. We're going up for our final VO2 effort.
Yeah, here we go. We've got the
3, 2, 1. Pop it up for the last 45-second effort.
And then shortly after that, a Celine Del Carmen Alvarado, very motivated, taking a huge gap on that
30 seconds.
Sana Kant was chasing her like crazy, using all of those years of experience to be able
keep
to
it up, keep it up, keep it up.
To Alvarado's first lap blitz on that downhill sand section.
Into that
20 seconds left, guys.
The gaps already open. This is again
20 seconds. 125% FTP. Keep it going. Finish hard. Finish strong. 8, 7, 6, 5. You're going to be done with your workout in 3, 2, 1.
Absolutely, yeah. And
done.
It was the chasers that were able to make
cool down for about 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to phase out here. Just cool down on your own. If you're doing the structured workout, the cooldown will be structured into the workout. We're just not going to do it on screen today. Remember to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Any questions, go in the comment box. I'll make sure we get back to you. See you guys later.